Yo, yo, yo! Sorry. I see a plane. I see no ships. Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the stream this morning. It was pretty good. We'll put that out to our friend later on today, the Air Canada pilot, Sebastian. Sebastian, there we go. Yeah, so here we are at. Oh, was that me? Flipping that sounded like I was in a room. But anyway, runway 27 right, arrivals, and right behind me here is the sort of thing that we're going to be looking out for. Emma tuning in from Jamaica. I bet it's nicer there than it is here. Yeah! So from this point, we get, unless there's a bus in front of us, we generally get unrestricted shots. Oh, flare it. See, look at that. Get that gear right on the floor. Sort of level-ish, but isn't that beautiful, man? Yeah, I mentioned earlier on about a video that I'm going to be uploading. Unfortunately, if you know me, then you'll know that when it comes to editing, I basically I'm never finished. When the finished one is finished, I'm still not finished. But I think I'm nearly there. What I've basically done is I've taken a video of Miniature Wonderland. Now, if you know what Miniature Wonderland is, it's a fantastic facility in Hamburg. In Hamburg? In Hamburg? Yeah, Hamburg. It is Hamburg, isn't it? And it is amazing, man. I mean, you just got to Google it. But look at it's literally the world in model form. You'd just be amazed and bamboozled by what they've got there and the reality of it. You know, like mountains, and they've got the docklands, and they've got a snow scene. You know, I'm talking about whole like cities and skyscrapers, and you know, and of course they got Monaco now. It's that's up and running. They've got and of course they've got Nuffingen, which is probably, I'd say, the biggest of the dioramas that they have there. But in terms of, you know, when you talk about like model railways, which we see a lot of, and there's some fantastic model railways out there, but in terms of dioramas and moving ones at that's where these guys are number one in the world. There is no better place. But basically what I've done is I've been here a couple of times, and I've put a video together. And when I put a video together, the problem with it is, with the audio, is that you got a lot of people. It's like being in a hall with lots of people talking and kids yapping and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Babies crying and people talk blah 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 blah. Stand by. Sling the 20 minutes out. Thank you, Claire Bear, Jan Stanley. So a little bit of a sort of like, well, it is, you know, these are these headwinds, almost a direct headwind now. It's almost turned into a southwesterly, well, a southwesterly. Would that be right? Now, this is where you get these long landings. Look, bus. That's quite rare, I've got to be honest with you folks. We're quite lucky. Certainly not the frequency that you get with the paddock. So anyway, what I've done is I've taken our video and I looked at it again, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm not really all that keen on the music, because what I did was to take away the music, like I did with the Farnborough air show piece that I did, and I put music over it. That kind of worked because I was in and out of the audio. But the thing with the Miniature Wonderland is the fact that there's constantly people talking and shouting or kids or whatever it might be, you know, which is it's nice when you're there. You kind of don't, you put that out of your mind when you're there. Neon. So yet another incident with Turkish 321 this time. One of the cabin crew, well, quite badly injured, wasn't she? I think she may have broken her back, I'm not sure. But yeah, a broken back can be fixed, I think, as far as I'm aware. See, it's quite rare that the old buses come past. But we're looking straight down runway 27 right. Okay, so what I've done is, with the video, is I've taken, and trust me folks, this took a lot of effort, so I hope you're going to watch it and appreciate it and not go, oh, I don't like the sound of the airport in the background, it's too much noise going on, because it took me a long time to do it. It's been over 2 days now, but what I've basically done is I've taken snippets of our live streams and laid it over the footage from Nuffingen, and I think you'll find that you'll enjoy it. I certainly do. It gets you kind of mesmerised, really. It's quite mesmerising, and I hope you enjoy it. It even features the Star Wars Millennium Falcon, there we go. So we have used a couple of sound bites from not from our channel, because you know, we obviously haven't had the Millennium Falcon showing up at any airport, not yet anyway. But it's good, it's good fun. It's a nice little piece. It's about 15 minutes long, and it's like watching a really, because of all the moving vehicles and all the stuff that they have there, it is freaky, man. You know, you can find yourself, you know, you definitely, if you showed it to someone who knew about airports but wasn't into the planes as much, that you could quite easily, if you said to them, that's not real, they'd be like, get out of it, go on, sling your up. No, really. It's not real. Not real? What do you mean it's not real? No, these are models. No. Is it Z scale? Is it something like that? I can't remember what it is. No, it's not Z. I've put in a long distance call for that one. But it's not Z scale, is it? Because they're bigger than 1/200th, so it's got to be like 1/100th maybe? No, bigger than that. 1,000th or one, oh, I don't know, something. Someone's going to know, aren't they? But amazing place to visit, definitely worth it. Fly into Hamburg, stay at the Cockpit Hotel. You can get the bus into Miniature Wonderland, and it's beautiful around there as well in Hamburg. Obviously got flattened by the RAF, but there's still a lot of beautiful properties standing. When I say the RAF, I'm talking about World War II here, not last week. Oh, I never saw that in the news. Yeah! Wow, man, that's so cool. Okay, now watch for the flare. Here comes the flare. There it is. There's the flare. See the front end come up? Now he's trying to put the gear so that it's almost flat with the runway. They developed the undercarriage gear angle or attitude to match with the flare. So a perfect flare means that you're going to get all 6 wheels touching at the same time. Although somebody did say the other day, I'm not sure about that, and I'll go with that, because you know, I'm always willing to but it was a 350 pilot who told me, so I kind of have to you know, work with that. But if there's anybody else who says no, like with the 777, where it's the back set that always comes down first, the A330 back set always comes down first, 767 front set comes down first. Very peculiar, that, isn't it? Was the geezer who did design that? Did he have a couple of beers before? We got a few broken clouds over the top, so we might get some cruisers. Yeah. Craig P. Gilly has evolved from the back of a van into Jerry's ear. Oh yeah, we were going to do the T-shirt, Gilly, weren't we? Evolution of me. Of live streamer, yeah, we've already got. Yeah, but don't you remember? We have one. Yeah. Jeff Hammond in Hamburg. They've also got the fish market at 7 a.m. on Sunday. Well, I wouldn't be going there, would you? I mean, you go there and then go in to buy some fish, and then by the time you get home, blimey, yeah, flipping heck. Be like that person who, oh, funky shot, unintentional funky shot, I've got to say. Be like that person who brought a suitcase full of fish, put it in the overheads, and the next thing you knew is they had to evacuate the aircraft because all the flipping maggots all over the gaff. Unbelievable, mate. Who the hell does that? Okay, so everybody talking to everybody else. Is there anyone talking about planes here? Gareth Sunset Shepherd A380 ILS. That's the instrument landing system, folks, which is this here, which tunes into and captures the aeroplane. Scandinavian Neo, really interesting. Was it Turkish that I heard are handing back a whole batch of their 320 Neos, and also Egypt Air handing back all of their A220s, all down to the Pratt & Whitney engine issues with the 1100Gs. But I mean, I'd be panicking if I was with Airbus, because that's going to cost them a lot of money, man. That's very true, Rohit. Well, I don't know where they were coming from, Rohit, but it wasn't London, I can assure you, because, yes, like you say, you wouldn't get past security with a shed load of fish in your flipping blah blah, would you? Oh, it's only a bit of trout, mate. What's the matter with you? Oh, me mic's come off the thing fong. That's not good. I'm going to have to make an adjustment on that in a little bit, folks. So bear with me. Might get a bit of wind on this one. Are you getting a bit of wind, Gilly? Hold on. Let me just pull that line round there. There we go. That's better. There we go. Don't know which of the aircraft in the fleet it is. It's about 140 of these A380s that Emirates have got, and they're going to be spending about $2 billion on refurbishing, I think, 40 A380s and half of that amount of 777s as well. And I'm putting that down to the 777-9 delays. Because if you remember, the CEO of Emirates during lockdown said that we're going to be getting rid of all our A380s. Oh no, it was Etihad, wasn't it? But I remember him slagging them off, the A380s, but I think he might be eating his words now. I tell you what, these guys are so strict with their pilots, folks. If you flare this too late or too early, you get an email the next day. And that's official, man. I'm telling you. or if you drop your gear too early, or your flaps are extended too early. Everything has to be within certain limits with Emirates, and if you don't do it right, you get a little bit of a yellow card on Monday morning in your inbox, and then you email the bloke back and say, "Do you want to come and try it yourself, son?" Cheeky get. Big 500 tonner. Oh my God. Look at that. Oh, that's smooth, mate. Oh, yeah. He won't be getting an email on Monday morning. Or she. Oh, one of me thing-fongs has fallen over. Hold on a minute, I've got to go and wait. Oh, yeah. Isn't that beautiful, folks? What a shot. Rick Lee's a returning member. Welcome back, Rick. Just stand by, folks. Got to go and do me thing-fong. Now, when you're, it's more apparent. See the speed brakes, how quick they come up, folks? Well, the ground spoilers. But see those big boards on the wings that came up? Now, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes they are also used as spoilers. Or, sorry, for ailerons. So we got Rick Lee and we got Agent M 1958 has gifted a membership. Thank you, friend. Jill Watkins. When Sebastian came in this morning with his 787 for the very first time, the first officer crossing the pond, LHR, would he have a first officer who was experienced in all these things? Well, he is the first officer, Jill, and he would have had a captain. He would have been flying with a captain. There may have been a line check captain there, I don't know. Nice big old American triple. Here we go. Oh, how good does that look on your TV screen, man? I'm hoping you get the... So yeah, you may see, before it actually touches down, you may see those, the wing spoilers, speed brakes, I think they're classified as low speed ailerons, aren't they? Paul Skilling, great location, thank you. Ellis Shernoff, that kind of micromanaging, not cut it with me. Homeless is not good. I don't know what that's all about. Zoe B. Okay. Avro, yes. No, I got so transfixed by the edit that I was like, oh my God, I've got an hour to go before so I've got to stop doing it now. Have you got that video queued up, GP? Cuddle Cat Flow. has gifted a membership. Oh, it's Tom, is it? Oh, thanks, Tom. Oh, and that's his rescue cat, is it? The one with the white body and the black head. Brilliant. Yeah, nice ditty tat. Thomas Cleary, any chance you could do a show from Shannon? Difficult, that one, Thomas, just because it's, yeah, it is, isn't it? It gets very little heavy traffic, doesn't it? I think oh, that was it. Yeah, no, it was a... Yeah. They've got a paint shop in Shannon, haven't they? I think BA and... who is it? Who else is it? It's... well, actually, they've got... It's an international paint shop, really. But... yeah, it might have been. It might well have been, yeah. Something like that, yeah. One of the retros or something, yeah. Oh yeah, that was it. I had to get a ferry or something, yeah. Okay, here we go. Gary D, JAL 777 next in. Thank you, Gary. So now look, you might see those wing spoilers, ailerons. See the flapper on moving about. It's behind the engine. Oh, listen out. See them just moving ever so slightly, but wow, they'll come up quick. Watch this. Boom, up they come. It's quite late, really. Oh, bless him. And Beverly George confirming that was JAL 777-346. Extended range from Tokyo, running a big 115Bs, of course. Proper hardcore engines. Oh. Kevin McGurk, great shots of the American 777, liking that. Tony Rivers is in the house. Maccat lady, my TV speakers are not enjoying themselves. Oh, that's a shame, because when a pair of speakers is enjoying themselves, then it should really come out fresh and clean and nice and bassy and all that kind of. You've got to have bass, haven't you? I would recommend the video that I'm going to post later today. I would recommend watching that with a pair of headphones on. Because you really do pick up the airport sounds. It's certainly better than just listening to it straight out of your phone or something, because then you just don't get the ambience. Oh, listen to it. Don't get the ambulance. What are you talking about? Paul Whittle is a returning member, yeah? Yeah, totally. So folks, we have got a, now where do I start this story? Are you sitting comfortably? Because I'm going to tell you a story. If you remember, was it in August 2021, folks, when all that horrible stuff was going on in Afghanistan and all that, you remember the evacuations that they had? With all those people, those poor people clinging to a, was it a C-47, a C-17? Was it a C-17? C-47, talking about something. C-17, yeah, really bad news. Well, of course, you know, if you're an animal lover, then and you're anything like, well, we are, you also not just think of the poor people, but you also think of the poor animals as well, that are left behind by people fleeing. Oh, start up behind me, hold on. ping that across? Can you ping that across to me, Jimmy? Yeah, I don't want to interfere with the engine noise, folks. So that's why it's going to be a bit of a long one. You know, just stand by. So anyway, unfortunately, as we're all aware, you know, in war-torn areas there are also animal refugees. Let's be honest, which is a terrible thing when you think about it. I mean, even seeing a lame deer or something at the side, I'm like, oh no, I want to save it, you know, or anything like that. Anything that's suffering, I don't like it. So when somebody does something that's an amazing, just get that start up. When somebody does something for the animals, which is amazing, and also for people, we get a lot of you know, people that do things for people in terms of evacuation and all that kind of thing. But they've got a voice, haven't they? The people, they, you know, whereas the animals, you know, they have to rely on nice people to help them, to save them. And I tell you what, if I had the capability to do it, I would. But I can't. Well, we raised about £6,000 for the Battersea Cats and Dogs Home one December, Christmas Day or Boxing Day or something. But anyway, I digress. But that shows how much we love animals, and also how much our family of people out there, our members, love animals as well. Because otherwise, we wouldn't have raised 6,500 odd quid for the. Anyway. Yeah, I've got the slinger. Oh, don't worry, I'm not. Anyway, so listen, we've got. Well, I'm going to do it after the slinger, Jilly. I'm not going to be rushed on this one because it's really important that these folks know that there's a fella called Pen Farthing, folks. A lot of people might know who I'm talking about, but this guy, and obviously his wife as well, and his family. They just, you know, obviously they have a. He's ex. Was it Marines, Jilly, or is it? He's a Marine commando, folks, and he's obviously an animal lover, and especially, you know, he thinks very much about the welfare of animals. And he was out there in Afghanistan, right? Okay, so first of all, he's putting his bleeding life in danger for us lot. That's the first thing to consider. Okay. So the link is pinned on the page, folks. Right now, you see it at the top of the page. The link is pinned about Pen Farthing and the amazing story. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing because you know, I think you should read it because it is an amazing read, and you have to think of how amazing that guy is. But anyway, he basically, in a nutshell, he leased or hired an Uzbekistan 767 to fly. How many cats and dogs, Jilly? In the cargo hold, obviously. In 94 dogs and 74 cats. Unfortunately, the aircraft was empty when it left Kabul. Was it Kabul? It was Kabul, yeah. But just imagine that they had been bombing that place days before, and everything was a risk. Everywhere you went, it was a risk, you know, and whether you would actually get out. I mean, fair play to the. I was just thinking about it yesterday because my nephew works in the lease industry and AOG as well, and I thought, blimey, if you get asked, yeah, can we borrow a plane? Yeah, where are you flying to? Kabul. Hello. More to come. just wow, man. 500 tons of bat wing going through. We love it, yeah. I mean, look at the way those things are drooped, man. Look at the wingtips, how drooped they are. 15 feet, still going, look. Making all the alarms go off. Crazy. Big old set of rolled Trent 9s on her. So anyway, back to Pen Farthing. So you can imagine the risk that he was putting himself through to save these animals, and they managed to get the staff. They tried to get the staff on from the hospital, but they couldn't get other people on. Oh no, they agreed. The British government agreed, but the Americans wouldn't let the staff on the plane. Yeah. So, and there are complications in that whole thing, and all things going off and bombs flying around you and all that kind of thing. You'd imagine that logistics are a difficult thing to bleed and sort out, you know. But anyway, so they got an Uzbekistan 767. Here we go, 737. It's the longest story in the history of mankind, isn't it? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're not in a hurry, are we? Got somewhere to go. Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, he basically leased. I'm not sure exactly how it came about, but obviously he did the groundwork to get an aircraft to do an evacuation for these animals and bring them back to the UK. You might have read about it in the news. We obviously read about it on Twitter, and there was a lot of stuff going on with Twitter. Some news channels were covering it as well. Of course, you had to get it through the government, the UK government as well. I mean, it's hard enough bringing your own dog over or your own cat, you know, but all these animals, they would have had to have been vaccinated or quarantined or whatever it had to be done. So it's a tremendous amount of work. They don't just bring them over here and let go on, they're walkies, and like 50, 75 dogs go wandering off. But it's just an amazing feat of logistics and love and humanity, and it puts my faith in humans when things like this happen. Anyway, we're going to quickly show a video. It's 15 seconds long. We went up to the Hilton Garden Inn. Gillian and I talked about it. Oh, it was the paddock. Was it? Are you sure? Because I thought he was from the left to the right. Was he right to left? Okay, so I nipped up to the paddock early morning, kind of like I did today, to catch this aircraft coming in. And the crazy thing is that when they contacted us a while ago, it was his wife, wasn't it? Was it his wife? Let me just, hold on a minute. His girlfriend, yeah. His girlfriend contacted us. He's probably watching this going, hold on a minute, what's going on here? Rather than just say the flipping thing that I'm supposed to be saying. But I had to tell the story about it, you know, because it is an amazing story. What's that? Yeah, you see the... Yeah, no, absolutely. So I nipped up there early in the morning to catch it for them, and it was only recently when his girlfriend contacted us to say that he's a massive fan of Big Jet TV. Apparently his family is, and her family is, and he was obviously there one time and maybe saw it or something. I don't know. But oh well, that's interesting. What's that all about then? And now he's a big fan, basically, which is just an amazing thing, and we're honoured to have him along with everybody else who are big fans on Big Jet TV. Turkish 321 Neo had that incident. Anyway, so after this one, we're going to get to the actual point. Get ready to play that video, Jelly, because we've got quite a big gap. Your fingers hovering away there, look. Met a lovely family from Kilkenny or somewhere in Ireland. Yeah, Kilkenny, is it? I I'm sure it was. That's Jer Dooley's patch, isn't it? But lovely family who came up to the fence and said hello to her. How about that foal, eh? How about that foal? Anyway, okay, so here is the video from the morning covering this Uzbekistan 767, which he is on board, folks. Pen Farthing is on board, so he's obviously gone out there, put his life in more danger. I mean, can you imagine being a crew? Oh man, are we going to get a missile coming up? Sorry, Chili. Okay, run VT. Wow, beautiful aeroplane. Oh, so there you go, folks. Now this obviously Nina who contacted us and asked us if we could wish him a happy birthday. That's the longest winded happy birthday, but you deserve it, mate. Thank you for everything you do. Anything involved with animals, we really appreciate it, and I know I speak on behalf of my community from all around the world. So thanks, mate. A happy birthday, and I will virtually shake your hand. Cheers, mate. I appreciate it, and everybody else does as well. God, we got there in the end, flipping it. And next week we're gonna have a birthday wish for. Right, well, I'll tune in 45 minutes after it starts then. That's funny. Yeah. I know, that's why when I said it, Chili, I was like, oh no, have I said the wrong town? Because as soon as I said kill Kenny, I was like, oh no, they killed Kenny! Kenny, so tall, isn't it? Ellis Chernoff, love animals. We all love animals. Anyone who, I hate cats or I hate dogs. It's like, man, really? I mean, you could quite easily say, I don't really get on with cats. You know, they make me eyes a little bit stingy, or, you know, but I'll come round your house, you know. And yeah, of course I'll pay some money towards saving a cat. Just because it would make my eyes stingy doesn't mean that, you know, it's it's loved by someone and it needs another home, you know. No, I'm not going to put any money towards that because it makes my eyes all stingy. Well, it's not your cat, is it? See this one being thrown around the skies in Farnborough. Remember that? A couple of weeks ago. Might get a bit of a down rush vortex. So back set on the Dreamliner. There it is. Ba-boom. It's sort of like a very quick. Oh, big old weave there. It's quite a quick. Oh, look, he's all over the gap, bit like me. Look. That's the hardest part, folks. I'm going to tell you, and I'm pretty sure that pilots will agree with me here, that, you know, in terms of the schooling and the maths and all the navigation and all the this and the that and the you know, everything is just very difficult. But the hardest, and so I haven't. That's why I didn't do it, because I'm a bit thick. But well, I'm not thick, you know. If I'd have listened and done it right at school, if I had my attitude when I was at school now, I would have become a pilot, no doubt about it. Anyway, the hardest part is taxiing, using your feet. I mean, the tiller is also a sort of delayed mechanism as well, so it's got a bit of lag on it. So when you input, you have to wait and expect it to come in, and then sort of like counteract it, almost like flying the aeroplane. When you make a left turn, you're almost coming back. It depends on, you know, the winds. If it's a nice steady turn like this, you're still sort of like, you're making little tiny, you can almost do it with your fingertips, you know, at this point, you know. Mind you, they're probably on autopilot by now. Where are you going, mate? You're going the wrong way. He's going the wrong way, look. You're supposed to be going to Egypt, son. Mark Phillips, China Southern from Wuhan over Barnes heading your way. Wow, from Wuhan. Not often we hear that, is it, Jilly? You remember that's where it all kicked off, isn't it? I've still got one in the van. I've still got one in the van. One. Just one, yeah? Yeah, just the one, yeah. Mind you, I mean, there's a lot of people still wear face masks, but the amount of people you see them wearing them the wrong way round, but you never have the guts to say, excuse me, mate, but you know, you got your face, it's because it's like, you know, you've already got all the pollution on it from wearing it the wrong way round for the day. And one the other day in America, this girl had one on, and it was so old, right? The face mask was so old, it was all fluffy. It looked like a big load of cotton wool coming out of her mouth because of the, the fluffy side of the yeah, it was all like really old, so it doesn't really work then, does it? It's not all that effective. Better off just not wearing anything, really. Aidan Campbell, ANA Boeing 777-300 in 7 minutes, thank you, sir. In fact, I think this is it, coming up behind this Iberia 320neo. So yeah, on my video of Nuffingen, the miniature Wonderland airport, obviously I had to go through quite a lot of footage to find sound bites from my videos, but enough that that they're, you know, where I'm not talking on it. Helen Clapper's gifted a membership. Thank you, Helen. Well, there's little tiny bits of me talking, but not a lot, you know, because I wanted to sort of like, because it will mesmerise you, I'm telling you, folks. Okay, now this is a Dreamliner. So let's just focus in on this wing flex. Now look, even at these low speeds, look how highly flexed that wing is, folks. Now watch, I'm going to zoom right out so you can see the wing, and watch them literally drop by, well, over sort of like 14 feet, something like that, the wing flex on the 787, somewhere around that, on average between 10 and 15 feet, depending on the aircraft. Believe it or not, the 380 is 15 feet of flex. That big bendy shape, and watch them just as soon as he touches the ground and loses his lift, watch, bang, look at them, oh, they just rest and sag, don't they? It's a great shot. Captain Manny, on our iPads we can draw a line on an airport diagram to aid us taxiing. Interesting. Okay, well, in other words, like when you do a snap, like a photo grab, and then you can draw a line on it. Yeah, but that's all well and good knowing which way you're going. It's bleeding how you get there, because it's just the motion of taxiing, especially when you land, because you can quite easily get into that oscillating moment where you're left and right and you're counteracting too much, oversteer, understeer, that kind of thing. So if I was, you know, we're actually going to be doing some stuff like that with a simulator. In fact, I'm ringing him today, and I've got a call called Walter today, haven't I? Oh, let me send him a message. Yeah. I'm supposed to be calling a simulator. Great guy, folks. Great guy. And he's got a simulator up in a fully operational, licensed simulator that 320neo, and it can be switched back to CEO as well. But Airbus A320 pilots can train on officially and get themselves up for either refreshing or new. Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, I take my hat off to you pilots, man. I mean, the amount of times I've been taxiing out at a busy airfield, you know, not like Heathrow, because Heathrow's either left runway or right runway. But when you go somewhere like Chicago or where I was in Toronto, where we taxied out, it's just black out there. It's just black. And but the thing is that you pilots know what you're looking out for, because they give you waypoints to turn left or turn right, and follow to the reds or stop at so and so, and that's based on all these signages around the airfield here, obviously pointing the other way, so that pilots who are entering the runway know which runway it is, etc., etc. But there are also taxi point indicators as well. There's one there and there. Is there one there? Yeah, there we go. So link 21 alpha. So they'll tell you to go to that, hold at link 21 or whatever it might be. And I have to say, it's amazing. You know, as a passenger, you go out there and you're looking out the window and it's just pitch black. All you can see is a sea of lights. And we've seen it here on the show before, where, you know, when it gets dark, you're literally reliant, not reliant in any way on landmarks or anything like that. It is purely down to your skill and knowledge, and also what you've got on your iPad, of what the waypoints are and the taxi points. And that's why I say sometimes when pilots come off here, you see them stopped for some time, because they might be pilots who are a bit new to Heathrow and how their taxiways are and so on and so forth. So, you know, it's just amazing. So, but the taxiing itself is just the actual movement of the aircraft, because the inertia that's moving forward, even a small 320 or something like that, you've got all that weight, and you know, when you press the brake, you've got to press the brakes and you've got to steer it, you know. So you're using the foot pedals, not a steering wheel. However, I have no doubt it's like anything. It's basically like riding a bicycle, isn't it? Once you've learnt it, your skills are there. I mean, obviously, the only difference you have is when you're type rating on a larger aircraft. What's that in the middle of the runway? Is that the... What's that? Oh, it's the shadow from the white one. God, I thought I seen the ghost play there. But yeah, the art of taxiing. Mohammed Alif is a brand spanking new member. Mohammed, a very warm welcome to you, sir. So we're going to do a show on Friday, folks, but we're going to be getting onto the subject and covering the subject of the recent events with regards to the seat belt or clear air turbulence, but more importantly, the bleeding seat belt. And I'm not going to start on that because we lose about 400 people. So the plan is, I know we've done it before, the whole flight sim thing with me flying. You know, we did it with Virgin, flew their flight simulator. I've got another one coming up at the end of June, folks. That's going to be pretty amazing. It's almost slow motion, isn't it? It's going to be a pretty amazing one as well. It's a ground-based simulator, obviously, but it's got a lot of pedigree and history behind it as well. It's not just a sort of like a factory-built simulator that doesn't look anything like an aircraft from the outside, apart from maybe, you know, like a spaceship sort of front end. Amazing on both sides, you know, a static one or a motion sim. The motion sim is just the technology that goes into it, folks. I could talk about it for hours. They're all going, please don't. Because simulation is exactly what it says. It simulates flying. But it's, oh, is that a startup? It sounds like a 380 startup. Someone with a busted exhaust. No, it's an engine start. Yeah, listen to the engines whirring. Listen to those engines. Oh, it's that 777. That's what's just started, man. You can hear the whirring of the GEs, man. I'm going to read that one out because it's a non-member, but they won't mind because it's a great question. Jerry, how are waypoints manned? Each person seems to be responsible for their own bit of airspace, but are they remote from that area? Do they all sit in an office somewhere? No, you're definitely not dumb, because that's what the kind of question that I love to hear. Yeah, the waypoints generally, there are different waypoints between the, but there are manned towers, control centres along that path. Obviously over the sea, no, but generally the waypoints that's actually raised a good question, because when you depart for an international destination, you have to follow the different waypoints, and when you depart, you'll climb to XYZ to X waypoint. Now, when you get to that waypoint, you contact that waypoint and they hand you off to someone else. I think it's more a case of like when you come into the UK, I've noticed you contact approach, or contact approach is when you're on the final leg of it, on the descent, on the but there are different frequencies that you contact. Some of them are manned, some of them are just stations, and the last one, of course, when you go out over the Atlantic, you reach that point where it runs out of range and you have to rely on the ultra high frequency aerial that's located in the tail section, which is look, see the camera on the 350, look, is that a camera there? I think it is, look. That's a camera. Definitely a camera. Oh, look at this. See how far? See. Great tell. It's such a shame that next time I'm on a Virgin jet, I must or BA, because they do, but BA do the same, the tail, the and the belly, don't they? Do they do tail and belly? Tony McCall, waypoints are just geographical positions. Yes, indeed they are. That's right. But when you depart London Heathrow, for example, you will, I think the first contact, the next one, they hand you off to whatever they hand you off to, contact departures on 118.5 or whatever it might be, and then you fly to the waypoints, you check in, and then you reset your autopilot. You're basically in autopilot, so it sets the waypoints. You put that all in a computer and just sit back and have a coffee, literally, and just monitor it. That's the beauty of it. But obviously in the old days, when there wasn't so much technology, it was a lot more complex and analogy, if you know what this means. Oh, funky. Yeah, that's the second one I've got without actually realising that I was going to get it, if you know what I mean. London Control, apricot crumble. There we go. Contact London Control. Yes, I probably am, Screaming Emu. Yeah, waypoints and navigation and air traffic control is a traffic thing. Yes, I fully appreciate that, Screaming Emu. Thank you for reminding me and correcting me on it. Well, just not sort of like, just. No, but he's right. So waypoints are completely different than air traffic control. Yeah, that could be. that would be good. I think it would be, yeah. I think he would, yeah. Back set first. See, a little bit of right wing there, even though it's a direct headwind, really, at this point in time. Nice bit of vortex over the top. Right, I'm going to do this microphone now. Stand by, folks. Should be a little bit better. Hello. What's all this then? There's your... Ooh, look at this 350. Now this looks like Air China, is it? Oh, China Southern. Nice. This is a beautiful. See, now look at the difference in that in terms of the wings flexing, folks. It doesn't seem there's any flex, but there is on the outboard wings, on the outboard segments of the wings, but not as obvious on the 350 or on the Airbus in general compared to the Boeing jets, which have a lot of flex in them. See if you like that. So flare it, there we go. Wow, nice. Keep it on that flare. Look down the runway as well. Don't look in front of you. That's what the pilot told me. Who was it the last time I flew with? Yeah, Ellis, thank you. Air traffic management and air traffic control are indeed two completely different things. It's just got me onto that subject when the cat, I think it was. Wow, screaming A220's CPDLC. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's obviously it's so advanced. So that's obviously the computer systems, I'd imagine, or the navigation systems, so advanced that ATC can send a computer instruction to us, cleared direct NEWES, and we just hit accept and load, and it puts it into the flight management, and the jet flies. Wow, that's insane, isn't it? Isn't that incredible, man? I mean, the technology, you are literally, let's be honest, there to monitor it, but the departure is the most important thing, and landing it as well, but just monitoring it from that, and it just makes it easier, doesn't it? The only thing negative, I think, that I have had seasoned pilots mention is the fact that it's becoming so easy nowadays that if the younger pilot, not so established, was to have a full electrical failure, would they be able to fly the aeroplane based on, you know, the very basic instruments? Purely on the basis that because they're so reliant on computers nowadays, if you see what I mean. You know, I think it was Screaming Emu who said that the A380 pilots, 500 feet, they're on autopilot, literally, right on the climb out. So, you know, it's very, very early doors that the autopilot is engaged, and then it's just a case of monitoring it, but not just monitoring it, but also knowing how to deal with a scenario, a situation that might come along halfway through the flight. You lose an engine, or you have a hydraulic failure or something. The computers will tell you that. It'll say, but it's how you deal with it. You know, that's where your training comes in and really starts to kick in properly. Always need a backup. Yeah, and that's the one thing that Boeing is notorious for. Mind you, it's more a case of redundancy systems, isn't it? Where you have a system that can kick in if one system fails, so to speak. Airbus are streaks ahead of Boeing, but I tell you what, they've got their own bleeding problems, haven't they? This problem with the Pratt & Whitney engine is really rearing its ugly head, because it's gonna there's thousands of engines, I think. I'm not sure exactly what the number is, but it's at least 1,000 engines that are affected. In other words, 500 aircraft. Egypt Air, like I said, have given all of their A220s, so you've got 320s and 321s and A220s, those that are powered by the Pratt & Whitney engines. Luckily for British Airways, they chose the LEAP engine, which is a replacement for the CFM 56 engine. EGPX, 5 aerodrome controllers will control all traffic on the airport. 5 air? Oh, has he done a 1 to 5 thing, has he? And I've just got to number 5. Absolutely no idea where that plane's going. But yeah, I mean, you know, what Screaming Emu is saying there is how sophisticated these aircraft are now in terms of their flight management systems, and now to know that you know, they're being told that, you know, their systems are able to receive a file, so to speak, which can, like, if they need to deviate or go somewhere else or whatever it might be, to avoid stuff, which is what we're going to talk about as well on Friday. In fact, we might actually, I don't know if he's going to be available. He probably will actually, because it's at night time, isn't it? You know, invite one of our pilots along. You know, 220. So there's a lot of these aircraft that have the engines. Oh, funky shot. Yeah, there's a lot of these aircraft that have been repaired. No, it'd be in the morning, wouldn't it? He'd be all right. He'd be all right if he's around. Aidan Campbell, A350-941 from Kuala Lumpur in 8 minutes. Okay, let's do a time check. 4:30. We're gonna go at least 4. Yeah, I think so, Julie. It's just knowing where to find it. Yeah, I know where it is. Yeah, it's in the Pelly case that's on the. Yeah. Scropey, you find the thought that pilots will just have to sit back and let someone on the ground fly it terrifying? Scropey, it's never going to happen, mate. Whilst there's someone on the aircraft, why would they, you know, they'd have to employ somebody to fly it. So what's the point in having someone on the ground flying it while someone's monitoring it in the air? You might as well have that person in the air monitoring it. It's never going to happen. All these sort of, like, you know, things that you read about on the socials, you know, a lot of it is absolute, yeah. You know, the return of the 747, you know, and all that sort of stuff. It's all clickbait, I'm telling you. Terrible. And those people don't know anything about aviation. There's so many people in the oh, that's a bit long, isn't it? There we go, nice and easy, son. You know, so many people in the industry that just don't know. They're absolutely, completely clueless. They've just come into aviation like in the last 5 years or something like that. They've got no history, no sort of like background of aviation, and they just come up with these ridiculous stories, and you know, or they're just not even aviation journalists. They're flipping just journalists who should know better, you know, than to type stuff like that up. Whatever. Yeah. It is a. Oh, I'd love to say what I really mean. Oh, okay, EGPX has done a 1 and it's at 9 at the moment. Okay. Yeah, that all makes sense. So on the final approach, controllers, which is approach, contact London approach on 1185 or whatever it might be, they use radar to separate. This is where you see the radar stuff, and obviously that will still be on the international at the international control center as well, because there is one that you fly to, and I wish I could remember the name of it now, because it has been mentioned by Zane Dunning a couple of times, but there is a sort of like final waypoint before you cross the coastline of the UK when you're heading across the Atlantic. That's the one that you report to, I'm pretty sure, and then they hand you off and go, right, thank you very much, toodaloo, and then you're on your own, so to speak. But there is always a track of radar. It's not like, you know, once you're over a certain point, that's it, you're on your own, and you know, but because, you know, I mean, the flight paths are just, it's incredible the way that they control it all and monitor it, you know, but just what you're putting into your flight plan before you go. You're in terms of altitude and, you know, again, the waypoints, whether you're going high, low or medium across the Atlantic, whether you're going up over the top, when you're going straight across, whether you're going sort of like a little bit north but not fully north, you know, all that different way, and of course the same with when you're heading east as well. It's just an incredible sort of like logistical computerized system. We're not going to get a start up on that Cathay 777 because that is coming out of a remote stand. Ellis Chernoff, at my airline using CPDLC. I'm imagining, what's that? I need to look that up. What is CPDLC? That's the question. It's got to be some kind of like a program or a system that receives something to do with the navigational system, I'm guessing. CPDLC, let's have a look. Kujro, I knew a former US Air Force F4 pilot, later as 777 captain. He said the new training shortcuts and automation, less emphasis on manual flying. Many pilots don't know what to do in an aircraft is in a bad mood. Yeah, absolutely, Kujro. Is that coming off the back of what I was talking about in terms of, you know, the younger pilots who are who nowadays we're so reliant. It's just everything, isn't it? You know, when I go in somewhere in a restaurant, not that I ever do, but if I go anywhere, you know, McDonald's, and I'm sitting there and there's like 4 people sitting at the table, they're just looking, they've got their heads buried in their phones, not talking to each other. You know, back in the old days when you have a good old chat, good old chin wag, talk about what you've been doing and all that sort of thing. Nah, everyone's on their bleeding phone, aren't they? I mean, I'm guilty of it, don't get me wrong, but you know, if I was when I play golf and I sit there with my mates, nice funky shot, when I sit there with my mates afterwards, I don't bury my head in my phone, I don't even touch it, all right? I talk to them, we're humans. Communicate. You've got to communicate, haven't you? Keeps your brain alive. And I mean, I know doing quizzes and Komitsu or whatever the hell it is, you know, and all those things, silly puzzles and stuff. And not silly, you know, but puzzles or whatever they're called. You know, it's good for the brain, don't get me wrong, it is. I mean, I mean, last time when I flew on Virgin Atlantic across to Atlanta, I didn't open the screen once on the old in-flight entertainment, the IFE. I didn't even touch it. It was folded away all the time. All I do is I play solitaire on my phone, about 100 games. Yeah. Anyway, whatever, you know. But it is quite worrying about, not worrying, but pilots certainly established pilots who have a history, maybe 20 years in the industry or 30 years or however long it might be, would be sort of like, and the retired ones of these days, if they're keeping on. Okay, in the Pele case, GP. Oh, can you put Chargie's crunchies out? Okay, is he there for them? Is he there for them? Has he come in? Yes. Right, now shut the door, shut the door. Tell him he's a very naughty boy. Okay, Screaming Emu, we use position reports when out of radar range over water. An example position report is JetBlue 123, 80 miles north of Ursus. Flight level 350, estimate Ursus 1438, that's I'm guessing the next 1438 Zulu sail next. So obviously they're the waypoints I'm guessing that he's talking about, and what time they estimate getting to that particular waypoint. That's brilliant, mate. All navigation stuff, love it. But you're still contacting a control centre, aren't you? You know, you're not reporting into a computer, are you? You're reporting into a control centre, so that if they see that something's awry or not right with that, they'll come back saying negative. Yeah, open that up. Okay, the back of it, there's a little, you know, in the back of it, on the left hand side, the zip compartment. Open the compartment up. Yeah. You'll see a. Yeah. You should see also sort of little black purses, almost like, with, and if just so long as it's got. No. That's the spare of this one. Okay, yeah, that's number 3, number 2 of number 3, if you see what I mean. But no, there'll be another one there, like a smaller one maybe. Oh, okay. Try in the front compartment. Just lift that up and have a look in there, or on the table, maybe on the coffee table. No. Yeah. Oh. Yes. Put them in your pocket. Yeah. And also. Yeah, that's right. But there should be at least another 2 of those purses somewhere. Are they not in that? Are they? Check all the compartments in. Yeah. They all look the same. Once. No, that's not it. No. They all look the same as that one that you found the one in. Okay, and or half size one. Just bring them all up, mate. Just bring them all up. Yeah, just bring them all up. No, don't bring the. Yeah, bring all 3 of them. Yeah. Okay, get that flare. There's the flare. See what I mean? There you go. That was perfect. 10 out of 10, son. That was all 6 on the deck at the same time, wasn't it? I think that's a perfect flare. And the great thing is, the amazing thing is, there are sensors on that aeroplane which can show you your flight in graphical terms, in graph terms. So you can look at the analytics of how well you flared that aeroplane. I don't know if there's many pilots that actually do that, but I do know that some head offices have a record of it. Because if you regularly flare it out of sync, or you're doing quite a lot of go-arounds, that will come up on the monitoring system, and then you'll be called into the office and they'll be like, mate, I'll tell you what we're going to do, we're going to send you on a refresher course, because you're not that clued up when it comes to crosswind landings, are you? We're just going to put you on the sim for a couple of weeks, and then we're going to send a line captain out with you or something like that. It's pretty cool, man. Another 350, here we go. blimey, EGPX is up to 12 now. It's a bit like one of my birthday shout-outs. It's good stuff though, what he's talking about is good stuff. I do like the big livery. So, no flaperons on the Airbus. Look, see, behind the engines, no flaperons, just the outboard ailerons, nicely done. Bit boshy, tiny bit boshy, but up come the boards. And the reversers, you can see the wall of heat literally around those engines, man. It's insane. Another thing that I learned from Screaming Emu. You are my teacher. Khusro, as a passenger, I have a meal and enjoy a book and a sleep on the flight. Yeah, that's why we've kind of got it down now in terms of me going out to America. Always come back on a night flight. That way you arrive about 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe a little bit earlier. It's a little bit crazy, but you force yourself to stay awake all day, and then by the time it comes to 9 o'clock, you're absolutely done for. You're literally fighting to stay awake. Oh, nice one, pulling on the back of the stack. Oh, this is always a good shot, man. This is always a good shot. Here we go. It's quite funky. Here we go. Watch this. Oh, say it back then. That's it. I think actually that's the Max that's just pulled in right between them, isn't it? Yeah, it's the Max. Look how bright those bleeding lights are. I think that's the Royal Air Maroc from Casablanca that's just pulled into the back there. There, that one there, in front of the Brussels 320. I think I might be right on that one. He just did a little bit of a cheeky little move there, the Max. Renegade Extreme. Oh, really? That plane coming on to finals already had its gear down? Which one? The Max or the... That one's coming down. So the Max already had its gear down. It's usually about 6,000 feet that it comes down, isn't it? G6ZNW, thank you. G6ZNW, sorry. Gifting 5 memberships. Thank you, G6ZNW. And by the way, folks, just to let you know, all premium members, we're gonna release the footage from Atlanta later on after the show. So it's great. You know, I get messages from people when they send in stuff for stickers and stuff. And this fella just sent this card in. He said I've never missed a show. I think it was Will or who was it? Oh, sorry, mate. If I had it in the bag in that Pele case, Jilly. I had 3 letters from people. You know, I do read them all, folks. But no, it's fine. It's fine. This fella he's never missed a show in 5 years. Unbelievable. CPR. Did anyone else see the gear down as that plane was turning in, or was I just imagining it? I don't know. I mean, sometimes it happens. That they're, you know, it depends on the pilot. Sometimes there are procedures in terms of timings, you know, for extending the gear. That to me would be a little bit early, and purely from a point of view of drag, the amount of drag that it causes with the for fuel savings. Who? Oh right, yeah. Me and all. I've never missed one. Hey, how about that? Oh, he did when I went off and played golf, didn't he? Yeah, but in modern times, no, you haven't missed one. Yeah, all right, all right, all right. Craig Russell, Turkish 777 from Istanbul on finals. This is the Max, ladies and gents. You did, didn't you? Yes. CPR, yeah, can confirm the possible gear down during turn. Okay, it was this one. Had his gear down. It's just a pilot. It's just a pilot. That is very early because that's a long way out. It's about 10 miles. Well, actually less than that. I'll tell you what, and there's a theory. I reckon the reason why that 737 had his gear down early was because he was not at the back of the stack. He was sort of like he pushed in. He came in early, so there's a chance that maybe to scrub off some speed, he just dropped the gear because he needed to bring the airspeed down. Maybe the tower said, "Look, reduce your speed to blah blah." Oh, there we go, Ellis Chernoff. Gear might be extended. You know, I did think of that myself, but Ellis Chernoff kind of confirming what I'm saying here. Gear might be extended early when ATC instructs to reduce speed quickly or assigns a speed requiring a lot of flaps. So there we go. He's used his gear to slow the aircraft down, create that drag. So it's a natural process. So that's a skilled pilot, man. Rather than using all the, quickly going into all the flaps, because mind you, he would have been at flaps 1, I would imagine, when he was on the turn, surely, wouldn't he? Nicholas Thomas tuning in from Hong Kong. I love the chat, man. It's great, isn't it? Yeah. Screaming Emu, landing gear is free drag. Yeah. So in other words, it's yes, you just don't have to apply speed brakes or put any stresses on the aircraft other than the normal stuff, which, like he says, is free drag with the gear being dropped and forcing the aircraft to slow ever so slightly. Might still need to apply a little bit of speed brake because it didn't get him down to the required speed, but you know, in general, certainly less speed brake would need to be applied. I love talking like I know what I'm talking about. It's great, isn't it? I wish my old man was alive, because I would have had great chats with him, man. Like, especially about the old stuff, you know. So, you know, compare the DC-8 to a CL-44 swingtail, you know. Craig Russell, Korean 777 from. I tell you, we are honoured, folks. Well, I'm very happy and excited to let you know that we are 95% cleared for doing an airside feature with Heathrow for the return of the Korean 747-8 on the 26th of next month. So sling that one in your diary. Because that'll be a double show as well. One for the arrival, taxi and stop, and then one for the start-up and taxi and departure. Yeah! Vortex. See, now look at the speed brakes. See the speed brakes on the wings? See them ever so slightly moving? That's ailerons. That's the aircraft using them as ailerons before now, where they come up fully and they are speed brakes. ground spoilers as they are on the ground. See the big flapperons? Don't see them on the Dreamliners. See the ones behind the engines there, and the outboard ones that are still slightly up. The ailerons being used. They're the low-speed ailerons, and the high-speed ailerons are the big flaps that you can see. That one just coming down now. Great. CPR Korea 907 joining finals now. 777 at the moment, but don't forget from 20. Yeah, there we go. 747-8. It will be. We're not forgetting that, my friend. Tim Rotunda. Oh, Julie, I wish you would. I wish you were on that. Start talking about other channels, man. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Just leave it for other platforms or something. Yeah. Lloyd Bell probably an engine test that you had 380, which is in storage in Tyrrell, was also pinging. Oh, okay, so that I have done. Oh, listen to the Turkish style now. That's the Turkish fire. Oh, free drag because it doesn't give. I see. So what you're saying, free drag, meaning it doesn't. If you put flaps down, you get lift. So that's something you have to control on the descent. That's why you don't go full flaps right from the get-go. It's a controlled descent with the controlled flap settings. But what he's saying there, yeah, is you don't get any. There's no lift from it. So it's free drag. Ellis Chernoff. I loved flying the DC-8, but you really did have to plan. No speed brakes and low gear and flap extension speeds. Wow, well that's what my old man would have had, Ellis. Flew the DC-8 54 freighter. And I flew on it many times with him. And of course, all analog on that. So yeah, okay, so it was a bit of a difficult old beast to fly, was it? Especially on approach by the sounds of it. Flying the DCA. Who did you fly for, Ellis? Or Flying Tigers or something crazy like that. Wow, imagine that. Mind you, back in the olden days, you know, back in the 70s, I know I'm not putting you that at that age, mate, but right on the back end of it would have been the 80s, wouldn't it? 80s and 90s even, oh, fucking shot. Even 80s and 90s would have been the maybe even the early 2000s have been quite a few DC-8s flying around. Certainly freighters, that's for sure. Okay, lots of people mentioning how that airside show sounds great, and we have to thank our good friends at Heathrow for that, folks. Never forget that. Here we go, Korean triple. Very nice. Cool, blimey, screaming at me, asking Ellis if DC-8 didn't have any boards, any ground spoilers or speed brakes. Flipping heck. Thank you, Simon. Oh my God, Melanie's electricity's going to be off on the 26th. Yeah, get a couple of power banks or something, or yeah, charge your phone up with a power bank. There's quite a few good, reasonable, cheap ones out there as well. So certainly by the amount of time that your electricity is off, you'll be able to use if you get a decent power bank. Valerie Dickens, Steve Owen, big thank you to Screaming Emu for all this aviation knowledge. Great asset to Jerry, yes, and others as well. Captain Manny, Ellis, Kushro. We've got a lot of pilots who regularly come in and chat, which I'm honoured to have, because it just goes to show that we're kind of doing the right thing, aren't we? Because you kind of wouldn't want to really be involved with a channel that doesn't really have a lot to say in terms of, you know, or at least base knowledge. At least I've got some kind of base knowledge which I continually educate myself with the help of both Google and also these wonderful pilots and aircrew and engineers and technicians. Rolls-Royce engineer we've got, haven't we, as well? I was just going to say, flipping it. Oh, okay. So Melanie is not got 5G on her phone then, or 4G, or because that will obviously eat up data as well. Yeah. John Brennan, thank you. Great shot, 777-200. Love it, man, love it. Ellis showing off lights, adding his 2 pennies worth. Thank you. John Montague, Vietnam Airlines is spectacular. We've got Vietjet coming in. Thank you, Screaming Emu. Yeah, giving a shout out, I'm guessing, to everybody on the channel. It's lovely to. That's why I always say, if you're a new member, don't hesitate to come in and ask questions, folks, please, because you know you know how long I can talk about aviation for. I could talk you to sleep, literally. Jerry's Sleepy Nutnight's book about planes. Are you sitting comfortably or lying? Mind you, if it's anything like Alan Partridge's relaxation tape. Now relax, lie back. There's a bit of suds on your shoulder there. Ooh. Now lie back, relax. Not too far. It's terrible for you. Comac C919 will make first revenue flight outside mainland China in June. Lowlander saying, read about that this morning. Hey, how much does that C919 look like an A320? CEO though, because I think at the moment, have they got big engines? Have they got the big engines, or are they just still running CFMs, or have they got? I think they're running CFMs. You know, those Comacs. I don't know if they've got the Pratts or the Leaps, or maybe they have. Let's have a little look. Yeah, but the Comac, I think I heard, no, not comic. C919 engine. Go. CFM International, it's the LEAP engine, right? Okay, well, there we go. It is the CFM replacement for the 56, which is, wow, okay, so that's General Electric. That's a General Electric engine, man. So the Chinese have gone after the Americans. Ellie Morgan and Av Greek, I'm damn well proud of it. Yeah, it's great being into aviation, man. I love it. Chris G7VEO, are they doing any extra, what was it, retraining for pilots on turbulence? Not really, Chris, because turbulence is turbulence. It's not like
all of a sudden there's, you know, we're learning about it or something. No, it's been around for since aviation started. But and we will cover that whole subject on Friday's show. But what we're basically discussing, and that's why I don't want to get onto it now because I don't want to cover it now, but we will be discussing that during the show on Friday, and hopefully get one or two guest pilots on to talk about it, because there's nothing better than it coming from the horse's mouth, is it, eh? It's a 737. You just look behind you, just that Max is just, those big engines are just tucked there, man. It's nuts, isn't it? It's got no clearance at all like the Neo has. It kind of looks right, but then looks wrong. Look, not a lot. Strong wing on it. Oh yeah, look at that heat vortex. See that sort of like liquid vortex almost. Like it. Screaming Emu, today I got to think about my flap and gear extension max speed. Wow. A little knowledge refreshes me. How fantastic is that? Because yeah, you do. I guess with all the training that you do and all the knowledge that you have, there's some things you maybe overlook and think, you know what? If I ever get asked, you know, you can join this. You can join the descent, the short finals if you want. A little bit earlier if you like, but you need to do this and do that to do that. And he's talking about the gear extension being free drag. I mean, there's no better sight than an aircraft on the turn when it's joining, when it's establishing itself on the flight, on the glide path. There's nothing better than seeing an aircraft on the turn with its gear starting to extend. Now that's skills. I'd love to see that. We obviously have seen it at the air shows, which is pretty cool. Like that Biman 787, which was just awesome, man. You need to head back to another Friday show that we did to see that, where I played out a video from Farnborough that I put music to, but I had to put music to it purely because it had too much chatter on it. Wow, Aidan Campbell, been a fan of aviation since he was 11, now 45. That's brilliant, man. So something along the way with everybody here made them go, well, oh, that's cool. Or they live near an airport and they just naturally grown up with it. Or a relative or a friend or something like that. There's so many different variations of how you get into planes. Luckily for me, my old man was a pilot, old school pilot, and I love that as well. I love the fact that I've sort of like come from the old ages as well, you know, from the old turboprop days, man. Was that one going out? Oh, okay, I got you, yeah. Oh yeah, go on it. Yeah. Oh, nice. Smoke them mains. Yeah. Cheers, Judy. That would be great. Thanks. Was
is that the I just caught a glimpse of its tail. I think it's the M&M's 380 going out. Ellis showing off, love turboprops, flew thousands of hours in them. Oh, that's brilliant. Well, Ellis, I don't know if you know, but my old man flew the Britannia with British Eagle. He flew the Constellation with Skyways of London, and flew the CL-44 Swingtail. I just like, you know, I mean, 3 classic aircraft there. And of course, the Constellation had radials on it. Let's remember, not the turboprops. It's before turboprops. Proper old school radials. No cheese. Alex Hilton. I always liked planes, but Storm Units really got me hooked, mainly because of Jerry's commentary. Some people hate it, some people just can't stand it, and good luck to them, you know, because obviously they, you know, you need to have some kind of a, you know, a screw loose to watch this. Only a slightly loose, you know, not just, you know, well, not really, but you know what I mean. It helps. You know, maybe just needs a little bit of a tighten down, you know, Phillips or straight, whichever, doesn't really matter. Mr. Rigsby, I'm old enough to remember seeing a British Eagle plane on descent over Richmond. Oh my goodness me, you never know. My old man might have been flying it. That's insane, man. The Britannia was a turboprop from memory. Yeah, that's brilliant. It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes when you read people's names out, and for some reason your mind sort of like creates this picture in your mind of what they look like. They look nothing like what you think, you know. I mean, it doesn't help with Mr. Rigsby being called Mr. Rigsby, because I'm like, oh, Miss Jones, Miss Jones. Mr. Rigsby. It's another show that's taken off on it because of all the, you know, stupid PC crap. Craig Russell, Virgin Atlantic 350, 1,000 on finals from Los Angeles. Oh, Screaming Emu flew a Stearman in Dorset last month. Hello there. Do a bit of a hedge flying and all that. Dane Grayson. He's rounded the head off on the screw. That's it. He's done for. Philip Jones, is there anything more majestic sight than a 380 banking? Well, do you know what? You know, yeah. Oh, it's a difficult one, that, because there is. I mean, it is a beautiful sight, but so's a 777, 350, even 330, Dreamliner, 747. I've got to send Wouter a message. I'm going to tell him tomorrow morning. In fact, that's probably him who's messaged me. It's a little bit of a slope there, isn't there? There's definitely a bit of a slope there to the runway, and I guess it peters off down at the far end. Maybe a little bit of a hump in it. certainly nothing as dramatic as in other words, what I'm saying is, are you landing into an upslope? Is there a certain degree of angle on that runway? Answers on a postcard. Remember that? Answers on a postcard. Okay. Ian Byrne got into aviation because of going back to Dublin Airport in the 1980s. 707s. 1980s, that were DCS. Caravels. Here we go with a flare. Nice sound. There we go, there we go. See, that was the back set ever so slightly first. See, one example today. I think it was almost the first one that we saw touchdown, where he got all 6 wheels on the deck together. Alex Prince, probably one of the most regular questions we get asked, Alex, with on the show, apart from what camera do you use, but in terms of viewpoints at Heathrow. But he's included saying preferably somewhere that I can get a beer too. Well, I tell you what, mate, yes. The Green Man round the corner from here, there's a great boozer. If they're on 2-7 left arrivals though, so you'd have to pick a day when they switch at 3 so you can get over there and have an afternoon beer, because otherwise if you do it in the morning you're going to be slaughtered by the time they do the switch over. What's out there? Oh yeah, the Courtyard as well. Of course, the Courtyard. Go to the Courtyard Hotel, Alex. What am I thinking? Okay, this is Vietnam's Dreamliner, isn't it? Actually, to be honest, you can do the Renaissance as well, can't you? You could go in there, grab a beer from the bar, and walk out with it and drink it on the grassy knoll. Yeah, balcony of the Courtyard. Especially if you look at the heat around that aircraft, man. Yeah, I mean, if you're coming to London, Alex, and you're going to be staying here for a while, then get a cheap room at the Courtyard and get yourself out onto the top balcony there, man. There is one round the corner that you can go to if you're you still have to be a resident, folks, because they're getting pretty strict on people just turning up there with their camera and, you know, a few sandwiches and a bottle of milk or something. You know, you can't do that. You've got to show a bit of respect. You wouldn't want people turning up at your house, starting to pitch their deck chairs up in your front garden or your back garden. You know, I'm just watching the planes, mate. Yeah, but it's my garden, mate. Oh, I just thought I could just come here and take pictures. No. No, I mean, you know. Mind you, hold on a minute. How much are you willing to pay? Look at that stack, man. Look at that stack. And the one right at the back is actually higher than the one in front of it. It's just this optic. That will obviously, that gap will decrease, and that will eventually pop out at the top of it. Or slightly, there we are, just around about there. Should be around about the right point. Oh, Jan Stanley, my dad was the manager of an aircraft engineering company around the corner from the paddock, so I was brought up with Heathrow and all things aeronautical during the 50s and 60s. Wow! That was back in the analog days, man. That's insane. Early days of, like, you know, like, well, very, very basic computer technology on the aircraft, you know.
by that point still no way away from autopilot. I think the Trident was the first to use auto land, wasn't it? But mind you, sorry, autopilot had been around for many years. There have been, I mean, even the bleeding Lancaster bombers had autopilot, didn't they? I think they had an auto setting of some description, but there was a lot more monitoring back in those days, obviously. Steph, thanks. Heathrow needs an equivalent to Shep's Mound. We can call it Jerry's Hump. What hump? Mind your hump. What hump? Rolling in the hair. Oh, I thought you said Abby normal, not AB normal. Put it on the rigs. Put it on the rigs. Debbie Inglis loving the stack shots. It's a lumpy runway, Screaming Emu saying. Lumpy. I've got lumps of it round the back. Follow the stack. No, follow the stack. No, follow the goal. The shoe. But you are the... I'm not the... Oh, that's well monitored then, isn't it? Easy, son, easy. Oh. You are the Messiah. I should know, I've followed a few. He's not the Messiah now. Rwandair 330-200, 14 minutes out, Craig Russell. Mr. Rigsby, there used to be a huge sinkhole in 27 left on Google Map Flight Simulator. Okay, well I can't see, mate. Philip Jones CWL has a great runway, nice, flat and long. It's wafer thin, Ellis Chernoff. I've been asked to remove certain comments, folks, and sorry if yours are being involved in it, because I don't want the chat full of it. Look at the Jesus sunlight coming out. Oh. The beverages. He's flying straight through it. Sunlight on my aircraft. Aidan Campbell, Air China, love China liveries 777 in 19 minutes. Yeah, Andy Peters. Flipping heck, man. Just sorry, folks. You know, the time and the place, if you know what I mean. Until we know all the facts and figures. Mind you, me raising it is just going to ask something. What? It's like. No, I didn't. I didn't even mention it. Not me, Governor. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Cool, blimey, who's that? Look at the wing flex on the 777, man. Don't get that on a 380. It's there, but you don't notice it as much as what you do on the Boeing jets. Really, 76s has got a big flex to it. 777, they just built a lot. They just built a lot more flex into their wing. This is a 73, is it? No, sorry, 320 NEO. Listen to how quiet this is, man. Remember the old days, the old Caravelle or something like that coming in. Back in the old days, mate, that'd be a 747-200 or 100 being used by Aer Lingus from over there, man. Crazy. Before the before the 75s came along, the 76s, the 330s, the 300s, even the A300s, you know, the wide body stuff. But the 747, they used to use that on the London route, didn't they? Blooming crazy on intelligence. Oh man. Oh, darn it. Melanie saying a KC2. Not going to see it, Melanie, unfortunately. Thanks for letting me know, but we've got 10 tenths, well, 8 tenths above us, I'm afraid. Tim Rotunda, I've noticed that a lot of JAL and CAL pilots can just roll out a landing. Don't even feel, or the pilots don't know they are on the ground until they hear the spoilers. Okay, because it's auto-armed, isn't it? The spoilers are 99% of the times are, the ground spoilers are auto-armed, aren't they? But I think when you arm the spoilers, you're also arming. You're not also arming the component itself. You're also using it as a during the descent in windy conditions. It also works with the speed brakes, working as or acting as spoilers or an element of. Wow, that was quite close, you know, with this triple. I don't think I'm going to be able to get an example of it. You can tell me if I do, if I manage to get it. But oh, very nice, very softly done. Now see what he's doing with the elevators there, folks. That's keeping the nose of the aircraft in the air, sort of almost like a wheelie, but just to bring the front end down nice and softly. Otherwise, if he just leaves it, bang, it might just hit the deck, and it would just be uncomfortable more than anything else. Not in any way sort of like dangerous, but obviously there's skills to landing, is there not? Shamrock 105. See, there is a second A350 painted up at Toulouse for Emirates. It might have been me, mate. What was that? What was that? Yeah, that was me. That was me. And he'll understand that because, you know, we're talking about that on Friday, and I don't want to start clogging up the RAF KC2 Voyager heading over the top 19,000 feet. Gary D. John Grinham 757. 200. What's 200? Zoe B, liking the viewing location, perfect view of the wings and changes to flight control surfaces on landing. Well, that's the great thing, you see. That's why we like to bring you the variety, folks, from around Heathrow. You know, people who moan, oh, blimey, oh, we're back at Heathrow again. God, blimey, it's all you ever do, mate. Well, first of all, it's not, because we go overseas, also, we have a number of locations around Heathrow. If it was the same every time, if I was on the top of a hotel or whatever every single time I was here, I'd understand it. But it's not. We do mix it up, you know. So thanks for the support. We must have changed this. Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, just, you know, I don't know, people are just, some people just don't sit back, chill out, think about what they're going to say, and then maybe, you know what, I think that's a bit harsh. It's good sometimes to, you know, sometimes I might write a bit of a harsh reply to someone, and then I leave it for about 10 minutes, and then have another look at it and go, you know what, is that going to get anywhere? Are they just going to look at me and think, shut up, you idiot, you know, or whatever, you know. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'll leave it. I'll just leave it. I'll take it. Just leave it. Clear sky. 80-20. Bulgarian. Look at the elevators, just manipulating them ever so slightly just to bring it out nice and smooth. Now, elevate, oh, you see that? You dropped that one. I think it's more a case of doing it on the big stuff, where you've got a big, long aeroplane, you know, where they keep the elevators activated in the upward position. Not fully up, obviously, you know, but slightly up, just to sort of like cushion the landing. Tony Duty. Steve Reed, John Grinham. Seeing offers blue, Sandy Humpy, Amy. Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult to send the video to. What's that? Oh, nice prop, like this, ATR. Logan Air. See, look at the props now. Now these props are being auto thrust or auto controlled. So look at the difference in the speed of the props to maintain the approach. Oh, a little bit. Now watch, after they touch down, the equivalent of what you would normally see, the reverse thrusters, they change the pitch of the propeller to turn it into creating a sort of like a sideways thrust rather than a back thrust. So watch the pitch of the props. Here they come. Bang! Now the pitch has been changed. That's automatically done as well, I think. And normally, no speed brakes, interestingly enough. Are there no speed brakes? I thought there was a little speed brake on the end of the wing, but or maybe just didn't need them. Look at the pitch of the engines. You see, the reason why they face down like that is because when you are flying, the aircraft has a nose-up attitude, which basically puts those engines on exactly the right angle to attack the air in front of them.
Oh, nice. Look behind you, Jerry. 330 CEO. Looks like, oh, this is the Rwand Air Jet. Here we go. So watch out for the elevators, folks. Just controlling the descent. Here we go. That's all what it's on. So elevators up, keeping that nice angle, just smoothly bringing it in. Then a little bit of elevator still, look, just to keep the aircraft nice and smooth, and there we go, let her come down. Bang, there it is, nice. Reverses on before the nose touches down. That is an experienced pilot, ladies and gentlemen, because normally most operators prefer to see all wheels on the ground so they get maximum braking. Not that there are any brakes on the front wheels, but it just means that they can apply maximum braking before they put the thrusters on. But that guy, that man or woman who's flying that aircraft know exactly what they're doing. Done it many times before. Super gentle, Sandy Humby. Wow, Craig Russell, this plane is delayed by over 8 hours. Wow. Dave Allberg. That's Dave Allberg. Oh, no. Sorry. No. Yeah, all good. Yeah, sorry. Stand by, folks. Stand by. Just getting me mics. Get up nice and easy. There we go. So we've got good on the okay. Wow, see the vortex coming off the spoilers, man. Wow, the heat, the liquid vortex, pretty cool. I don't know. Oh.
Ellie Morgan blaming the CERN Hadron Collider. Sorry, folks. There we go. Cheers, Jelly. Well, yeah. Go up to roundabout and turn right. Yeah. Just in time for the big lad. Who's this then? He's got a moustache up. Oh wow, look at this. Oh yeah. Trying a special livery. Oh, listen to the vortex. It's going to hit me on the vortex. Downwash. Listen to it. Sounds like a steam train. Well, freight train. Nice bit of elevator movement. Oh, tickled that one. Tickled it. Nice. Yeah, pretty snazzy livery, sorry. Eddie Morgan, beautiful landing Air China. Good opportunity when we're at this angle as well for aircraft ID. Have you got that? You know what that is? No cheating. No, looking at flight radar 24. Alec Padley, vortex on the end of the wing, yeah. Got it, squirrel. That's when you give it away that you've looked it up when you say it's an A350 941. You've obviously looked it up somewhere because there are so many different last three digits, isn't there? You know, or on the nines anyway, or even the 1000s, but it's just an A350. From that angle, doesn't matter it's a 1K or a 900. You cannot tell what variant it is until it's literally. You know, you don't see the length of it when it's on approach. Hello, what's going on there? Oh, CPI didn't look it up. He knows it's a 941. Fair play to you, mate. Man, that guy's got some serious knowledge. Wow. Wow. Yes, sorry, Lowlander. Thank you, Steve Batty. Take care. You got it, Aidan. God. He got it without looking on Flight Radar 24 from a dead front shot. Wow, how did you know that it's, because look at that, even looking at that angle there, you could still think that that's an A359, couldn't you? Because of the angle. It's only when it's literally side on, or especially when it's head on at you, you can't see how many wheel sets it's got on it. So I don't know. Very observational. Steph reclined on an airliner seat. Oh, she's on a flight. Oh, really? Hey! That is crazy, man. In Finlay, 41 is engine type. See, as far as I'm aware, as far as I know, they all run the Trent XWB engine. So that's interesting. Is that the okay, in Finlay is the engine type 41. Okay, so a 900 is a 41 with the engine type, and the 1000 is a 1041. Again, still, I would not know how to identify a 350 from a 1000, from a 900 to a 1000 by looking at it straight head on. Engines are identical in terms of, you know, their visual appearance. CPR, I think it's all 350s end with 41. So 900, 941, 1000, 1041. Okay. So even screaming at me saying, oh, it's the engine type. Right, there we go. Landing on a bit of an upslope here, like I've said. Forgive me for going silent for a second, folks. I've got a oh, look, here's another one. Here's another perfect example. Look, here we go. Look, here. This is another 350. Now, it's China, isn't it? Now, I cannot tell whether that's a 1000 or a 900. I'm going to guess it's a 900 because I don't think many of the Asian carriers operate the 1000. I think they all operate the 900. So all I'm saying is that if that was an unmarked 350, I would not be able to tell whether that's a 900 or a 1000. But as it is what appears to be, love this livery, man. Just love this livery. Look at the straight wing on it, but the wing is still flexed. Watch the end of the wings on this aircraft, folks, and watch how much they dip when she lands. Still can't see it's a 1000 or a 900 until it's there. Yeah. Oh man. Listen to all the valves and stuff. Watch the wing. Watch the wing. It will sag. It will sag. Watch. Bang, and there it goes. Certainly nothing like what you see. Well, certainly on the A380, it's just such a big, enormous piece of technology, isn't it? The A380 wing, and it would naturally just sag. You know, it's like you've got 100 weight of bricks hanging off of it. Yeah, lots of people. She's a beauty. Vegas Mark, yes, that's where people will get the exact number on the aircraft on Flight Radar 25. It's the easiest and quickest way to do it because obviously the aircraft's ident is on there. If you select the aircraft, if you're watching it on Flight Radar 24, it's very easy to sort of like navigate your way around the app as well. Douglas Butcher, the BAC 111 had a wing flex of 6 feet from static to just before failure. How much safety flex is built in 787? Douglas, the wing, the flex tests that carried out on the
I think it was either the 787 or the 350, one of the two. They could not make the wing fail. That's how strong it is. And those that have failed an immense amount of flex, nowhere near what you would get in even the most severest of turbulent situations. But you know, they have to be certified when the aircraft is in prototype form. And then of course once the specification is certified, then they build all wings to that specification. That's why they don't have to test each wing when they you know, they only destroy prototypes. And the left side, then the right side. There we go, son, you're down. Oh, did cop twist. Asiana 350 due in 49 minutes. Thank you, Alex Hilton. Look at that wing. Zoe B. Winglet marketing campaign. Tell you what, there's some great winglets on the market. I think Boeing are very tightly linked to NASA with their wingtip technology. I'm quite excited for you to see the video that I'm going to put up later, folks. Russell, Cathay Pacific 350 from Hong Kong, 5 minutes out. Could be the 1000, could be the 900. Oh, I can see now why CPR knew that it was a 941, because it's either a 941 or a 1041. And he obviously knows that the operator doesn't operate the 1000 variant, so he says it's a 941, so there we go. Yeah, that is a point, Aidan Campbell, because I always thought that the numbers after the aircraft were not were something to do with the airline, possibly. I don't know. Or Fishinden's brother and his new wife did a monster flight to Bali from Gatwick. 2:30 p.m. to Dubai. When Dubai to Bali arrived at 10:30 this morning. Wow. What we got in the stack, right? It's big, isn't it? It's a wide body. Now, to me, that's a 350 because of the straight wing. I might be wrong, but because of the attitude. Freddie Laker. Great way to unwind after a clogged journey home. That's an interesting way of putting it. Etihad 380 over the channel due in 25 minutes, Beverly George. Thanks, Beverly.
Let's go back and see if I was right about this being a 350. I think it is. It's just got that straight wing look to it. Certainly not a Dreamliner, because as you know, and also the spacing of the engines is quite a long way out compared to the Dreamliner, which is a little bit more compact, isn't it? Nick Fishington, are IAEs louder than the CFMs, or is it me? Yeah, it depends on the settings really, Nick. I think they're more or less the same. The two engines. I think maybe the CFM has a little bit more of a squeal to it as it's going over the top. Gary McIntosh off to Malaysia on the 27th of next month from Heathrow via Zurich and Singapore on Swiss Air. Wow. So flying out on a Swiss Air 320 now, or a A220. Chances are you will be. Might be unlucky and you might get a CEO on the day, but it's more than likely you'll be on a Neo or an A220. Cathay Pacific. Wow, very high in the flare. Clean set of gear on her. Oh, nice funky shot with the 380. Whoa, nice. Yeah. The legend Freddie Laker, love these shots. Where can we see them turning onto finals? Well, you can, if we're lucky enough to see one turning onto finals. We have seen at least one. Look at that thing going off into the distance there. And we actually caught a very interesting one earlier on, 737 MAX, the Royal Emirates MAX, which sort of like was given clearance to enter the stack a little bit earlier. And as a result of that, extended his gear to bleed off a little bit of airspeed. At least that's what we think. A350 VJam, awesome noise like that, man. Aidan Campbell, Qatar 777 about to turn finals. Let's see if we can catch that. There it is, there, coming in from the north. Is it? Those bright lights, man. There's one here, look. I guess some operators were quite lucky to get their aircraft fixed at the front of the queue rather than, or some of them are using engines that weren't affected by the mechanical issues that they've had with these engines. Pratt Whitney's. Nigel Armstrong, thank you, sir. He's gifted 10 membership. Time for the coat to go on, I think. Just a little bit. Hold on, just a little bit. Thank you, Nigel. Mark Phillips. Yeah. You know what, Mark? I've got a. We're considering that. We'll talk about that in a second. Because Ray-Ban, I think it's Ray-Ban. Was it Ray-Ban? And another. Company have sort of like joined forces in a new I mean, it's nothing new, put it that way, you know, in terms of, you know, video cameras in glasses, you know. It's been talked about, you know, maybe in, I don't know, spy movies or The Name's Bond, 007. And I'm wearing my glasses today. Oh, you don't normally wear glasses, Mr. Bond. Yes, I know. But today I'm wearing these new Ray-Bans. Oh, why is that, Mr. Bond? It's got a video camera and a photo camera. Why are you starting to talk in American, Mr. Bond? Shh. Now look here, Miss Moneypenny. Anyway, yeah. So I've got a pair of glasses arriving, folks, which has video recording technology in them, stills, and also Bluetooth as well, which is pretty cool. It just means it's so much easier, isn't it? When you get up in the morning, you put your glasses on and bang, your Bluetooth's on. That's it. So no hunting around for your. Oh, where did I put my earpiece? And all that malarkey. Yeah, well, I've just lost my glasses. Where did I put my glasses? Make you keep them on for longer though, wouldn't it? It just makes you wear them all day long. Well, they will have a Find My thing on that, won't they? They're on your head, son. They're on your head. Oh, yeah, cheers. Oh, my God, yeah. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Wise guy, yeah? Anyway, yeah, so somebody was just asking about vlogging the trips that we do when I go overseas, and yeah, fair point. But it's just easier when you're walking on a plane with a camera in your hand, and you know the cabin crew are like, "Ooh, don't know about this," you know, and all that kind of thing. People don't like seeing their faces being seen. The great thing is with these is as I'm walking through the airport, there's lots of videos online where there's people's faces. Because sometimes you have to get an agreement signed with people, you know, do you mind, you know, if they're doing it for a TV programme or something like that. Oh, hello, Qatar triple. Shut up, Jerry. Let the engines do the talking, son. Wow, nice vortex from the tyre smoke, man. What about that? Rewind that, see if we get a screen grab from that, Jilly. It's almost like a swirl vortex from the tyre smoke. Look at it. Marksy. Marx's missus is a naval boat fan. I can't get enough information. You want to throw information at me, mate? I will just gobble it up. I love it. Penelope, great noise. Zoe B, Jerry just needs the type of body-worn cameras officers wear on their glasses. No, it's not even that. It's tiny. And we've done the research, of course, and the feedback. The feedback has been really good. You know, you press it for 2 seconds, it starts recording. Press it for 2 seconds again, it stops recording. Sends the information to your phone via Bluetooth. How about that? It's insane. Yeah, don't want any sort of visual camera like on your shoulder or anything silly like that. Don't want anything that's there that people see and go, "Oh, is that camera you're wearing there? Oh, I'm not sure about that." So you can obviously turn it on when you walk into the airport, and you can do the whole thing right the way through. Do you mind? You know, speak to the attendant at the check-in. Like, do you mind me? You know, do you mind your face being on my video? No, I'd rather you didn't. Right? Okay, fair enough. You know, when you edit it, you don't include that bit, do you? Hey. So yes, I am going to be doing some videoing of. It's just easier, isn't it, to whatever you're looking at, it records. Obviously, you don't go the full hog in terms of like, you know, being able to see the good quality stuff. In fact, you know, I'd probably use my camera video to film takeoffs and landings from on board the aircraft rather than the glasses. I don't know, it depends on whether it's you know, because I think the camera's on the right hand side, so you'd have to really lean out like that to look at it, but you can't get any, oh, I don't know, we'll just have to see how it goes. But yes, I will definitely be doing some vlogs about my journeys overseas. This is a journey into space. Perfect camera. Really? Yeah, I know, all the virtue signalling and all that, you know. It's a mate, video camera, innit? So I'm not going to go videoing people in toilets and stuff like that, am I, for God's sake? Stop it! Yeah, of course I can understand that. Yeah, but people film on planes, don't they? You know, when you get on a plane, Virgin Atlantic, BA, filming is prohibited. But if you film a cabin crew member beforehand, you may be asked to stop or something like that. When I film a cabin crew, I will ask the manager, "Do you mind if they appear on the video?" If they say no, then I will not include any of that, which is a bit of a shame because, you know, I have to say some airlines are a bit more stringent than others, you know. Some are quite relaxed about it. Others are a little bit more sort of like, you know, PC thing. It's always the that lot come out and say, you know, "Oh, don't know about that. Shouldn't be doing that." It's like, you're all right, mate. It's all right. I'm 60 years old. I know what I'm doing. I'm not just going to go barging into places, you know. But to be honest, the you know, for those sorts of, you know, there's people doing it all over the place. You know, what they, you know, old matey who moved to America, they all do it, don't they? There's tons of them doing it, and obviously they edit it, don't they? Noel Phillips, you know, look at Noel Phillips. It's not going to be live, folks. It's going to be edited. You know, and I'm not doing it to catch drama. It's just hands-free, isn't it? It's a capability, an option to do something easier than standing there with a phone in your hand, you know. Sometimes I wonder why I say something. Anyway, Hamad Khan, Iberia 350, arriving 16:15. Okay, so this is see, sometimes you have to go quite deep, and then you look at that wing flex. It's quite clearly a Dreamliner, and then the nose comes into shot, the front of it. There you go. There's your Dreamliner. Watch that wing deflex. Watch it. Now. Boom. There it goes. Wow, it's just incredible, isn't it, man? all the way across from where it's been since it took off. Those wings have been flexed up like that. And to be honest with you, when they flight test these aircraft, the happiest configuration these aeroplanes are in is when they're actually flying, not when they're on the ground. They're designed to fly, so therefore their optimum configuration is that flexed wing. And obviously when they're on the ground with them deflexed like that, it's you know, that's where the movement comes from, in terms of, you know, when they do a D-check, that they check all those fixings and components on the wing that go through those stress loads. China B, it is now a vehicle. Yeah, I'm going to look like Joe 90 when I've got them on. Or the fella from is it Joe 90? No, not Joe 90. The fella from the or was it Joe 90? No, not Joe 90. The fella missing Leave it with me for a minute, folks. I'm just going to contact the brain. Hello, brain. Yeah, what do you want? Just wanted to. Can I have a little bit more memory, please? Yeah, all right then. Hold on a minute. I'm just getting up. Just a cup of coffee and all that. Yeah, well, I'd rather have it now if that's all right. All right then. Hold on a minute. Phone a friend here. One of the characters had big rimmed glasses. Yes, the driver of Miss Miss Penelope, yeah. But Parker, there we go, Parker. Oh, that was it. Yeah, the big eyebrows. Yeah, no, it was something. It must be Joe 90 then. I don't flipping know. Just ring the brain up, tell him not to bother. Brains, that's it, brains, thank you. It's brains, yes. The answer was brains as well, wasn't it? Oh, for God's sake. I'll get me coat. Mr. Magoo. Ah, dear, we do have a laugh, don't we, eh? Oh, what? Thank you, LFC Ian. Yeah, Bubbles. Alex Hilton. Andy Fishlop. Jules Harris. Guy with big eyebrows was Nigel Mansell Graham, yes. Most excitable bloke in the world. Trying to get him to laugh. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, Oliver, good day. Avro Arrow. Ooh. Chris. Brain Stutters. Beverly George. Les S.
I think it's not. I don't think it's memory loss with my. I think it's just brain overload. I think is what it is. There's too many things going on. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe getting a glimpse of it as I do pan, folks. But we're right opposite the maintenance facility. Only part of it here at London Heathrow with British Airways. Jane Quinney, Etihad 380, just joining the stack. There's the United hangar, which used to be British Airways, which I was at when they brought the BOAC Jumbo in. What a day that was. And there's the Virgin Atlantic hangar with, interestingly enough, that great big slot in it, which was originally put in for their 380s, which they never bought. Remember that? And then the roof, you can see off in the distance there, that is the a very modern building, look of a very modern building, but built in the 70s, man. It's got to be one of the most modern architectural buildings from the 1970s, because anything I remember from the 1970s was just like, you know, the local, you know, hall or something, you know, leisure centre or something. Nice. Going to like I said, folks, going to be releasing a video later. I want you all to watch it, and I want your comments on it as well. Whether you think it's cool or not, because a little bit of thought went into it, because there were basically 4 stages to it, but also I had to go into my own footage and find specific sound bites from our shows and dub them over the miniature Wonderland footage, which I think you'll find is pretty amazing. Remember, it's a model. That's the one thing you've got to do. Look at that. Sorry, I'll grab that body gear out now. Here come the main. It's like it's giving birth, doesn't it? Fully configured now. Probably maybe go for more flap now. What's that? Obviously, increments of flap. The initial wind is quite long because you've got the leading edge slats and the flaps going into their initial configuration, which is quite a big whiny, really, it's a lovely wind up noise. $2,500 is the
the call out numbers when it starts, when it reaches that. So around about now it's called out 1500. Next one will be 1200 if they want it. I think it's programmable by the pilots themselves what increments they want it to call out on. But this will be a definite 1000. I think I'm about 10-20 seconds behind on in the lag with Flight Radar 24 in terms of its speed and altitude, doing 128 knots at the moment, bringing it right down under 900 feet now. She'll cross me around about 100 feet, I think you'll find. 700 feet. Give it a shout at 500. 500. Approaching minimums. Minimums. Dropping. There's a bit of a lag on it. 400. See how accurate it is, because I reckon that's she's not at 288 feet. I can tell you that's 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. There you go. Nicely done, son. So yeah, so around about 150 feet out, I think. It's still showing it at 125 feet when it's on the ground. That's the barometric altitude, though. Oh, listen to that. Yeah, that's why. Are we what height are we above sea level here? If it's 127 feet, then I've actually done something correct in terms of working out that the barometric altitude is not the altitude of the aircraft, but the altitude of the aircraft based on the sea level. Oh, okay, 25 feet, is it? Nah. Fly SSC, we do not do air traffic control on the channel. 83 feet. Okay, so it's around about right, I think. Not too far off, about 40 feet out. But no, Fly SSC, I've mentioned it many times on the show before, we don't do ATC, just out of respect for our friends at NATS who have requested that we do not play it out, and we respect their wishes, whereby others play out. But I think that not only that, but we've tested it, we've tried it, because we've got so much to talk about, and my communication with you guys. I think ATC would just interfere. It would be a background annoyance, I think, more than anything else. We have tried it before. You can do it yourself if you want. You can, if you've got the capability, you can listen to ATC on another device and also watch the show. Oh, I'm going to get that 767 banking out. Wait a minute. It was banking for a bit. That's a strong wing on that 7.6. It just, and you can see it's flexed as well, man. That Boeing flex, there's nothing like it for wing flex on commercial jets. The Boeing way. Oh, MA, interesting. I believe that publicly broadcasting ATC in the UK is illegal. You're absolutely right, MA. Publicly broadcasting it. No one's going to send the police round if you've got a broadband radio that you can, there are shops that specialise in these things. There's a great shop that we've dealt with in the past. Who is it up in Manchester, Gilly? The guys at Radio World.
Yeah, Radio World, and they've got a great selection of radios. But to use one of those devices, you actually have to be by or close by the airport. And alternatively, you can go online to, is it ATC on ATC? What is it, Jimmy? liveatc.com. And if it's legal, it'll be on there. So if you're in America or 1949 though, Jilly. The Wireless Telegraphy Act of 1949. Blimey O'Reilly, come on boys. Let's, yeah, it is. The Wireless Telegraphy Act. You see, if I was a politician, the first thing I would do would I'd be, let's have a bit of a shuffle up here, shall we, folks? What is there in... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, tiny amount of people that do it, yeah, but... And anyway, I wouldn't, even if it was legal, to be honest with you, I wouldn't really want it. Yeah, nobody's going to prosecute you, even if you've got a live stream channel and you do it. No one's going to prosecute you. You just won't get any respect from the airports because it's illegal to broadcast. It's simple as that. So if you want to improve your channel's public reach by respecting the airports and doing it that way, then yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but you know, for what? For a couple of thousand views? Yeah. Just won't do it out of just. But like I say, man, the fact that other people do it is because probably they haven't got enough verbal to fill the void, if you know what I mean. You know, because I literally am able to talk planes for the whole 4 hours or however long I'm live for, because of the amazing people that I've got on chat to, you know, help me in that. So the dialogue is there. We don't need someone in the background going, contact departure 118.5. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Oh, young man. What's that? Oh, have you seen it? I mean, you can tell it. Somebody mentioned earlier on, who was obviously a new viewer to Big Jet TV. Oh, I've noticed how much green you have on your channel in terms of the green writing from viewers, which are all members. I look at my, whereas you look at a lot of other channels, it's just full of blue, with moderators all talking to each other, and the viewers don't get a look in. Do you know what I mean? And that can drive you into a negative. If you've got too many people that are moderators on your channel and they're all talking to each other, you don't get a word in edgeways, whereas we've got all these. And so that person said, I will definitely join because you look like you've got a great community. And that's very humbling, because we've built towards that for so many years, you know, and we've managed to keep it and retain it. And we're very happy to have it that way. Here endeth the lesson. So that Comac C919, I think China said that one minute you see an article saying that China have made a commitment to Comac, the aircraft manufacturer.
in China by saying that. So I think it's China Airlines that they've got to buy Comac and not Airbus or something like that. And then the next thing you know is you've got Airbus putting a post out saying that we're proud to say that glad to say that we've just we're opening up a plant in China with Airbus. For what exactly, I'm not sure, but China does have a supply chain. There is part of the supply chain is actually in China with Airbus. Can we get Steph to number 1 on flight radar? Am I right asking? What's that? What, Ellis Chernoff, thank you. Pistol Night. God, someone's wearing some flipping aftershave. It's always a little bit better when the aircraft is actually on the show, if you know what I mean. What's that? Ah, the first one. Brilliant. It's just going to happen, Julie. It's just let it happen. I know. Bro, that's funny. Comac C919, Nathan P saying there, yes. I will never forget. There's times that you remember in your life of moments, air shows from a long time ago that I used to go to. There are moments, some moments in time that you recall, and I have to say that coming round the corner at Boeing's plant and seeing that structure for the wing stress test that was actually being used was the most incredible thing I think I've ever seen. Along with, obviously, when I went round the corner, this breakers yard of aircraft, 747s, all bits of aircraft sliced up that have been tested to extremes, literally right the way through to destruction, because they have to be. It's just fantastic, man. That moment in time. I don't know what I've gone on to that for. Oh yeah, it's the Boeing. It's the 787 wing and how tough it is, man. Laughing up fuzzball. Airbus already have 2 sites in Shangjinon looking into SAF fuels. Okay, so that's a development arm, is it? Okay, so that's Virgin 350 1000 on the push. Raskas, China, 350. China Southern on finals. Is that their 350? Oh, Steph's on a 350, is she? How cool is that, man? It's a bit different though, Chile, isn't it? When got someone on it. Oh, okay, yeah, no, but you need to do it when it's literally imminent landing. Yeah. Anyone else see the little critter to the right side of the runway? Do we have the fox in shot? Did somebody see a fox? Raskas EK3 EK3 8 minutes. Sorry, yeah. actually 2004. Fair enough. Fair comment. Fair comment. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. Bob Shalvoy to the right in that last view. I thought critters were insects. See that? That's all growth, isn't it? That's all growth. 220! Okay, listen out for the howl as they apply the reversers, or the reversers are applied. Listen out for it. Might not happen. Ooh, blimey, easy, son. Yeah, just a little tiny Aviation
Addicts 380 on finals. Not seeing it
yet. I don't know if it's established yet. Can we get a turn in? Can we get a turn in? Coming from the north or the south? North, okay. From the north! That's coming back on, isn't it? Dun, 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 dun. What was the theme tune go? Doom, ba, doom, da, doom, do, doom, da, doom, da, 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 do. No, no. The no, the one from the north. I am Utrecht, son of Utrecht, with a dog called Utrecht, who has a puppy called Utrecht. My uncle was Utrecht. Yeah. There's something hopping there, Eagle Atlanta saying. Game of Thrones, yeah, that's... Oh no, was it? Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, oh, I don't know, whatever. Looked like rabbit ears, Andy Bishop. I don't know where I saw it, mate. I don't know where I saw it. Yeah, it might be that. It might be that. It might be that. I am Utrecht, son of Utrecht, grandson of Utrecht, whose mother was Utrecht. Yeah, I have a hamster called Utrecht. And a guinea pig, wee, called Utrecht. How many flipping Utrechts have you got? Very smooth elevators. Band on the run. Let me just see. Are they thinking there? No, that's a weed, isn't it? That's nothing down there. I was going to say, a bit of a funny place to put a post box, isn't it? Not going to get many people putting mail in there, are you? Eh? How often do they do deliveries for there then? Oh, is that little E145 on approach? Did I get it right for once? Pop it, TCB. Blake Fang Butter. It was. Avro Arrow liking the close. He likes the close-ups, this old Avro Arrow, doesn't he? Lots of other people do as well. John Sadler. So if Thai sold their 380s, who bought them? Are they serviceable? And where are they? Good point, that, John. Well, they would have returned them to the. Well, it depends if they paid cash for them, but I'd imagine that they've been returned to their to the lease companies, who will put them in storage somewhere. But good point, John. Do a bit of research. Come back on the next show, or even now, and tell us where they are. I'm sure that if you Google that, exactly what you just asked there, just copy and paste that into Google, and see what it spits out. Allison, is it Allison? Allison engines on the E145. Pretty cool, man. It's got some pedigree, but those engines are also found on executive jets. Here we go. Oh, the Thai 380s have been broken up, Lawrence Scope. Forget about that then. Wow, have they? But did they break them for spares? They must have broken them for spares and sold those spares on. The engines most definitely would have been moved on, sold on. So they broke them up themselves, a bit like. The sound of those. Oh, listen to that. Oh yeah. That pilot won't be getting an email on Monday. Dear sir, with regards to your flight on. Yes, dear sir. Regarding your flight on EK3 of Wednesday, just gone, we noticed that you flared a little bit too early. Would you mind refraining from that and making sure you do it? Dear sir, why don't you come and do it yourself then? Oh, Robert Dean, Thai 380. Oh, served for nearly 8 years for the airline until the pandemic came up, which led to the retirement of the aircraft. Currently, these aircraft are stored in BBK and UTP. There we go. So they're still they're still up for anyone who wants them. There we go. They haven't been broken up there. There's the flare, nicely done. Oh, tippy toes, there we go. Wow, look at that vortex, just everything coming off, all that heat vortex. It's like liquid, isn't it? It's brilliant, man.
big on the reversers. Jazz, I think you'll find, Jazz, it's an optical illusion. It looks like the 380 doesn't flare that much, but it probably does in relation to the size of the aircraft or the configuration of the aircraft. I know what you're saying, because it doesn't, you know, the 777 and the 350s have that sort of, like, you can clearly see them lift the nose, but the 380 sort of like flies it in, doesn't it? Because it's I wouldn't say it's short, but it's just the configuration of the aircraft, I think, is the reason why it appears to not flare as much. But I don't imagine, unless I'm wrong, maybe someone come on here and say, you know what, the flare on the 777 is X degrees, the flare on the 380 is only blah blah degrees. See how much of an angle that those the main the main gear is just touching it on the right side, because the wind is ever so slightly from the north. And there's the big swing as well. See the rudder swing there? I was sitting in the back of the A380 Pico 7 and it flares a lot. There we go, you see. I think it's something that's just not noticeable from our filming it, I believe. Mitesh Palmer, Ian Morrison, Pico 7, Joanna B, Bigfoot, Pistol Night. How often do they have to change the tyres on a plane, Pistol Night? Well, Pistol Night really is a visual thing, or when they go in for a maintenance check, or the sensors say that there's maybe a slow pressure loss in one of the tyres, and therefore they just switch it out, because obviously there may be, you know, an issue with the rim or something like that. But it's not a case of, you know, it's a visual thing more than, you know, number of flying hours and all those sorts of things, because the tyres are randomly changed as well. They might just call for one tyre wheel, let's say, because the tyres when they're replaced, it's the whole wheel set that goes on there. Jazz chunky plane effect. Let me do a Red 5 shot of the undercarriage going over was fantastic. Thank you, Red 5. That sort of seals it, doesn't it, when we get messages like that? Because that's why we're so lucky, man. We've got so many different variables around Heathrow, you know, in terms of videography and being able to see these aircraft in different stages of either, you know, powering up or landing or lining up. You know, when they're lined up, they look fantastic as well, don't they? Don't they? So there we go. 350. Ooh, little bit of a drift going on there for this 350. Casey Rallian planes, the likes of a KLM E195. Now that flares a lot, or is it the angle of attack is a lot more than other planes? Yeah, well, there you go. It is all relative to the aircraft, isn't it? When you look at the 350, it looks as though the undercarriage is actually drooping slightly forward here, but it's actually not, because when they pull the nose up to flare it, it should mean that all six wheels will be in parallel with the runway surface. It's very difficult to get it absolutely cracking bang on, you know, but we did see a great example of it earlier on. E190's deck angle on approach is pretty high. Screaming emu. There we go. Deck angle on approach. I like that. Is that descent angle he's talking about there? Look at this beautiful aeroplane. Now let's just see. Flares coming in already. Look. And there it is. There's another secondary moment. Oh, are we gonna go? Whoa, drill it. Nice, smoke the main, son. That was pretty gnarly, man. That was almost front set first, wasn't it? So maybe a little too shallow on the flare, perhaps. Good afternoon. Jazz used to spot from the very location Jerry's at now as a kid way back in the early 80s. Wow! Before days of high fences with blackouts, you could see the planes cross the road at maintenance good times. Yes, and that is where it was. Right there, there was a road that is partially still there, but between these two hangars, there used to be a roadway. I don't know if that hangar was actually there, that one on the right, but certainly there was a roadway that went right the way through there. There still is an access point there, but it is into the airport, and they obviously did that to minimise disruption. Oh, there we go. We just had a message from Sebastian, folks, from this morning's Air Canada flight, just saying a big thank you to everybody involved. So there we go, folks. It's worth going out there. Nice. So I didn't give him a full shout out, but Space Coast Driver is a brand new member. Brand spanking new. Top coat's still a little bit wet. Nice. Can you hear that, folks? Can you hear the engines? Robert Dean, many a time I was stopped there on my way to work or coming home. Oh yeah, and you wouldn't mind it, would you, when Concorde was either being towed across there, which it must have happened on multiple times, man. What a, yeah, airports of years gone by were little picket white fences, and you know, people just wandered around. You know, I mean, obviously there was security, but nothing on the level of what they are today. Tony Duty remembers the roadway. Space Coast Driver. Oh wow, Melbourne, Florida. There we go. I was going to say maybe from the United States of America. Good day to you, sir or madam. Back in the day, the road around the airport was known as the Perry Track Railway. The perimeter track, yeah. I mean, there wasn't every airport road around the airport. There was an internal perimeter track at bomber command stations. I know that. But yeah, the perimeter track that went all the way around the airport. Lowlander at Prestwick, the runway used to cross the road and we were first in line when the plane landed. Awesome, man. Oh, Darren Graham, yes. Remember that roadway, watching 747s crossing over. Oh, why, British Airways? Why, oh, why, oh, why? Oh, you broke our hearts, man. And you probably cost yourselves a bit of money and all, because you're going to have to lease a load of flipping aircraft, because those 747s could have been put to some good use, a la Lufthansa. Look what they've done, mate. Hey, someone was a little bit too hasty, weren't they? Hey, oh no, less haste, more haste, less speed. There we go, haste. Yeah, no, Too hasty. Is that the right word? Is that the way to describe it? Too quick? Too hasty? Yeah. Scandinavian Airlines Systems. I always remember as a kid. It's one of the first Gary 71, yes. The viewpoint at London Heathrow with the Queen's Building is a great shame. I did actually, you know, I mean, in all fairness, I did speak to Heathrow about potentially looking at the option of maybe relocating the trees that are. You can see where the newscasters sometimes film from down there. There's a very small terrace there outside the Heathrow Academy. Tony Duty, there was also a engine blast wall. Well, there still is, Tony. Possibly modernised from the early days, but you can just see the top of it there, where the windsock is. But that huge earth bank there is also used as a sound block. But that's one of two blast walls, and the other one is there, which you can see the high wall there. And of course, all of these buildings that you see here were originally for the well, actually you can see it more clearly. I think these ones here may have been built post these ones here. You can see the concrete structure. You can just about see the archway there. That's the frontage that's been put on these. The sandy coloured frontage has been put on the original concrete. Yeah, I did speak to Heathrow about potentially looking at relocating the trees, but then again I thought, you know, it might be a great idea. Are we going to get a swing out of this guy? Very nicely done. You know, it might be a good idea, but Heathrow or the planning department or whoever might look upon it as like, well, if we make it so that everybody can see the planes clearly, then we might. I mean, imagine you've seen what it's like at Myrtle Avenue on a summer's day. I can't imagine that the car park over at the other side, which is where the Heathrow Academy is. It's a very small parking area. All the rest is for the buildings, is for the offices there. I can't imagine that they would be able to cope with a serious amount of vehicles being there, with people watching. So you might come up against it when you're trying to do that. It's what kind of left it, really. Oh, airbolting. Probably a BA operation, I would have thought, this Baltic flight. So it's all about the elevators getting that flare, nothing else. And that's where the skill comes in.
Phil Eagle originally BOAC hangars, BEA ones over the road. Yeah, the BEA ones are, well, they're out of sight from here. We've seen them from the Hilton Garden Inn, but they are the ones that were for the Tridents and the Vanguards and all that sort of stuff. What's that, Jilly? Yeah. Oh my God, you're joking, mate. Oh, I don't know about that, mate. On Sunday. It's a very expensive operation as well, because you wouldn't want to, first thing you wouldn't want to do is you wouldn't want to take down the trees, as in take them down, if you see what I mean. You would want to use the right equipment, lift the root ball up and everything, and go and replant them over in the biodiversity site or something like that. Great idea, but logistically, I just don't think, I can't see it happening. Stop. Clear to start. Oh, they've already started the number 2, look at that. They're pulling it forward ever so slightly. Yeah, she's still on the tug, I think. Wait for the number 2 to fire up, here we go. Mad Cat Lady, yeah, that is why Myrtle Avenue is so popular. Hear those? You can hear the engines whirring. Great sound. Yeah. Why? What's up? Oh! It's on Saturday, is it? Yeah, but whatever. Do you want to do a weather check on that? Do you want to do a weather check on that? Just have a little look and see what the... So that'll be a southern one. That'll be a southern arrival. Yeah, very. They will be. Yeah, there's your problem. Rick Neufeld set my alarm for 3 a.m. to watch the special this morning. Has to be intimidating taxiing London Heathrow or any new to self. Well, yeah, I know what you're saying, Rick. Yeah, intimidating. I don't know. Your pilot, your captain's next to you, and you know, most definitely, he'll be keeping an eye out for you. So yes, it will be stressful. Depends on how sort of like quick you learn your taxiways and stuff like that, and the whole theme around it. You know, you find that most airports are the sort of like same thing, which is like turn left on Alpha, link 21, blah blah blah. Follow the greens in the dark. Obviously, I think it's probably a little bit easier in the dark, isn't it? With you know, but. Yeah, most definitely intimidating. But then again, lucky for them, Heathrow's quite simple. It's like, you know, once you leave runway 27 left, your taxi, you can turn right at exit, blah, 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 and then turn right at that point, taxi all the way up to link, whatever it is, turn left, and your gate is there. Rather than somewhere like Chicago, which is like turn left, right, left, and the next exit turn left. It's like flipping heck. I mean, some of the